Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Crispy, otherwise known as Bystander X79, and I am coming to you with my latest deck profile for the current February 2018 format. Yeah, I know, Bandlist still isn't out yet, but we're going to roll on as normal. And as you can see, today's deck profile is going to be one of my favorite archetypes, Elemental Heroes. Alright? Now, before I start, I'm going to make sure and clear to everybody here, this deck is more fusion-based than it is based off of the mass change variants that you see commonly out there. However, this deck can also build some serious boards and be very problematic with what I have in this deck. Alright? So without further ado, I'm just going to get right into this because I've been waiting so long to do an Elemental Hero deck profile for you guys. Alright, first off, like I said in the bumper, one copy of Elemental Hero Bubble Man. Now, the primary reason why I'm only running one is because you really don't want to be running into him that often. I mean, his effect is very good if you don't have anything in your hand. In your hand, you can special summon them out, but a lot of times if you run into multiple copies of this guy, it clogs up real fast. So one copy is all what you really need. I also run two copies of Elemental Hero Honest Neos. Now, Honest Neos is basically a combination of Honest and Elemental Hero Neos. Basically, you can this is a hand trap. You can discard this guy from your hand to power up one of your Elemental Hero monsters by 2500 attack, which is a pretty awesome boost. Another cool thing about this card is if he's on the field, you can send a hero monster from your deck to your graveyard and jack its own attack up by the attack of the hero you sent. Awesome effect if you get him on the field. Alright. Next one is a 3 of right here, and this is going to be Elemental Hero Neos Alias. Alright? Level 4, 1900 attack rate. It's a Gemini monster, which means when it comes onto the field, it's a normal monster unless you summon it again. And the fact that it's a Gemini monster, it comes out as a normal monster, that's kind of very key to the strategy I built around him. So he's pretty much a linchpin card here. Alright, now of course, we gotta run this. 3 copies of Goblinberg. Goblinberg is very key to all hero decks right now because you need to turn around and get your monsters onto the field ASAP to build up your field. With Goblinberg, you normal summon him, you can special summon one of your warrior type monsters from your hand right to the field by turning Goblinberg into defense mode. Can't tell you how good this is because it helps really get things going fast. Alright. Now, the reason why Neos Alias is in this because I also run 2 copies of Noble Knight Gawain. Now, you probably don't know Noble Knights. Well, why is it in the hero? Well, primary reason is because since Neos Alias is a normal monster when it's summoned to the field, Gawain can be special summoned from your hand in defense mode onto the field, so you're actually adding another monster onto the field. So think about this. Goblinberg brings out Neos Alias, you have this guy in your hand, you can special summon out that guy, Gawain, as well, and all of a sudden now you have 3 monsters on the field. That's a Link 3 play, or you can go into Isolde and then build into a Link 3, or if you happen to manage to get Bubble Man in there as well, you get Bubble Man on the field as long as you don't have anything else in your hand, and then there's 4 monsters, so you can see how it builds up. Alright, one other card I like to run in this, Photon Thrasher. Level 4, 2000 attack, or excuse me, 2100 attack. Special summon whenever you don't have any monsters on the field. I can't tell you how good this is when you're opening with it, whether you're going first or second. It just gets some free monster on the field, and it just puts another body on the field to do a lot of different stuff with. And finally, I run 1 copy of Shan Squire. Now, the reason why Shan Squire is in there is primarily because of Isolde's pitch equip spell, special summon something, a warrior type monster from your deck with the same level as the number of equipped spells you pitched. And because he's a tuner, he can gain you access to a certain particular monster in the extra deck that we'll get into. Alright, so that's the monster lineup right there. On to these spells. A reminder, yeah, you didn't know that you noticed. No Shadow Mist. That's right. No Mass Change in this deck. And yet, it can still get boards up on the field. Alright, so spells. 3 copies of E Emergency Call. Alright, search out any elemental hero monster you need from your deck to your hand. That simple. Card does look beautiful as a secret though. Alright, and I actually do run 3 copies of Miracle Fusion, and the primary reason why I run 3 copies of Miracle Fusion is what you saw when I was doing my intro on the extra deck. Elemental Hero The Shining thrives on this. It gets 300 attack points for every hero that's banished, so it power boosts itself up. That's why this card's in here over Polymerization. Of course, I run Master Reborn. Master Reborn, staple card ever since it came off the ban list. Gets a monster back from your graveyard. It's a play extender. You should run this. Okay, you need a equip spell, Moonmirror Shield, for Isolde's pitch and summon strategy. Three copies of Pot of Duality. Duality is pretty necessary once you have it, and it's really good once you have an established board, because you dig into your deck for something that you need to help protect that board. Okay, of course you need Raigeki in this deck. Board wipe, always important. You need Reinforcement of the Army. Search out warrior type monsters, so you want to see Goblinberg in your hand. Of course, I run 2 copies of Twin Twisters, primarily because you want to get rid of multiple back rows or scales if you're going off against pendulums. And last but not least, I run 1 copy of Upstart Goblin, basically because it adds a little extra draw power to the deck. Get your stuff a little bit quicker. Alright, now this deck does have some back row in it, and oh, I love this back row so much. 2 copies of Battlemiller's Trap Hole, because, let's face it, a lot of the boss monsters out there, they're actually vulnerable to this card. I mean, and if you're going against Pendulum, it's even better, because then they're losing their entire, all their Pendulum summons, so this card needs to be here. Alright, for recursion purposes, you have Monster Reborn. I also have Call of the Haunted. I know, trap card, but still brings that kind of monster, helps extend your combos. 2 copies of Mirror Force to blow up your opponent's field. Now, if you don't like destruction that this Mirror Force does, I can say maybe storing more Mirror Force just to bounce stuff off the field. Or if you want to turn around, maybe add insult to injury, maybe the Blazing Mirror Force. Yeah, it destroys, but it also burns. So, whatever floats your boat. I prefer the original right here in this build, particularly. And of course, I run the Solemn packet, which is Solemn Judgment. Negates a summon, spell, trap. 2 copies of Solemn Strike, because it's Solemn Strike, negates inherit summons, Link summoning, Pendulum summoning, Ixie summoning, Synchro summoning, all that good stuff. And also negates monster effects. And of course you have Solemn Warning, because it's Solemn Warning, negates a summon. Alright, so that's my main deck. On to the extra deck. And of course, like I said before, with Miracle Fusion, I run 2 copies of Elemental Hero The Shining. It gains 300 attack points for every hero monster that's banished. Which, yeah, since it starts out at 26, which means you're going to be... You could easily boost this thing up to 32 if you have 2 copies banished. 2 heroes banished. Another cool thing about it is, whenever it leaves the field, you're getting 2 heroes from your banish zone back to your hand. So that's the reason why I love this card so much. It power boosts itself, it gets yourself stuff back from the banish zone into your hand, so you can keep extending itself. And the cool thing about it is you can even use this thing as a fusion material itself to bring out another Shining. So, and then when that Shining leaves the field, you get that the one that's banished back, and it's just awesome. Alright, I run one copy of Elemental Hero Great Tornado. Now you're probably scratching your head on there's no Wind Attribute monsters in your main deck. How you're running this? Basically, you're going to be fusing off a used up Xyz monster that I'll show you in a bit. That's right, you can use used up Xyz monsters very easily. And of course, I have Bubble Man in the main deck. There is a Water Tribute Xyz monster outside of it in my action deck as well. And both of those can help you get out Elemental Absolute Zero. Now, Absolute Zero I love so much. It gets a power boost for about 500 attack for every other Water Tribute monster that's on the field. But the coolest effect is whenever it leaves the field, your opponent is losing all their monsters off their field. It just wipes their field clear. Alright? There are times you're going to want to see this card on the field just to get that board wipe. Alright, and of course we need turnaround plays. A lot of Earth Attribute monsters out there, so we are running Elemental Hero Gaia. Cool thing about Gaia is that when it's summoned, you target one of your opponent's monsters and you basically cut that monster's attack in half, and this monster then gains that attack for the rest of the turn. Alright, you're probably thinking, well, that's alright. I mean, it's a great turnaround play. But since it's not a permanent attack game, why so good? Because it's still an Elemental Hero name, which means you can still use it for fusions. Alright, now I have a tuner in there. So there is a synchro, and the synchro is Naturia Beast. Alright? Tune Shan Squire to Gallenberg, you get Naturia Beast out, and you could basically negate your opponent's spells as long as you have the cards in your man deck. Damn good card to have, help shut down decks in this meta. Alright, here's the Water Tribute monster I was talking about in the extra deck. Abyss Dweller can help bump up Water Tribute monsters as long as it has a Water Tribute monster as one of its materials. So imagine this in the field with Absolute Zero. It's going to get power boost twice. Once by the Abyss Dwellers and once by its own. So he's going to get big. And of course Abyss Dweller shuts down grave effects, which is also pretty awesome. I do run the Utopia package there and to help swing for game. Very easy to do in this deck. To stall, you have number 4-1 Babushka. Great card to have. Again, use it up. And then fuse it away for Gaia for a turnaround play. And of course the Wind Tribute monster, Tornado Dragon. Just a little extra something to turn on. Pop back row. Alright, on to the links. Now I talked about this. You gotta run Isolde. Cool thing with Isolde is that when she's Link Summoned, you get a warrior type monster from your deck to your hand. So basically you're going to be searching something out that you're going to need to either protect your field or summon next turn. Alright? And again, the pitch equipped to special summon a monster with the same number of level as the number of equips you pitched is a great effect because you get Shan Squire and you can just turn around and go into Naturia Beast then as well. Alright. One copy of Decode Talker because, let's face it, you could build this field pretty well. Decode Talker bumps itself up by whatever it points to, and then if you have to send it to the graveyard, you can send it to the graveyard to protect itself. And of course, I run Cerulean Skulldread. Building Cerulean Skulldread is pretty easy if you go up the Link ladder. Really, I could say the first two effects are actually the two of the effects that you want to be seeing a little bit more in this deck. Basically because the first one bumps up the attack points to anything it points to, and the second one gives you an extra special summon right from your hand. So you can actually get Honest Neos onto the field pretty quickly with this guy out. And then bump it up with Saruch's first effect, and then if it attacks, you can actually discard another hero monster from your deck to boost even further. So it's actually a pretty good standard play. Okay. this stuff right there. Alright, and that right there is my Elemental Hero deck profile. This is a fusion-based deck. It doesn't revolve around things like Dark War. But it can still hold its own by building up some serious fields. Alright. I can't tell you how this is one of the decks I've loved playing. It's always held up, even against things like Masked Heroes. This deck is awesome. If you love the deck, hit that like button. If you want to see more content like this on my channel, subscribe, ring the notification bell, become part of the notification squad whenever I throw up new videos. And I can tell you right now, please comment what you love about this deck. What you think could be added to this deck. I love to hear people's opinions about my decks. Really, comment section down below. I always respond. So until next time, guys, peace out.